À, em thưa cô, bọn em xin phép được trình bày ạ.
Xin mời nhóm ạ.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to see you guys today. So let me introduce our member group. We have four members: Nguyễn Thị Thu Hương, Trần Ngọc Nam, Nguyễn Thị Trang, Vũ Trí Đức. And before we start the presentation, we have a short video to show to everyone.
For many years, the beavers have enjoyed prosperity. They are skilled operators who work for the community with pride. But one day, a financial crisis shakes their world. Sales start declining, resources dry up. The beavers expect change, and they grow anxious. Some of the leaders face career choices. Should they stay or should they go? They decide to stay and to transform their organization into a winning culture.
A video is a light-hearted story of organizational change enabled by leadership development and personal transformation. And this is a culture change company production, so everybody can watch the full video on YouTube. But now, our group, I'll help you guys to figure it out. And as you guys all know, today we are going to talk about organization, culture, and communities. We have divided our presentation into four parts. That will be first part is organizational departments and functions. The second, what is the culture? The third one is organizational culture, and the fourth is the culture and structure. So now turn to the first part of my talk is about organizational department and functions. Now, I would like to look at the first one is researcher and development. So the term research and development is used to describe a series of activities that companies undertake to innovate and introduce new products and services. Research and development is often the first step in the development process. Companies require knowledge, talent, and investment in order to further their research and development needs and goals. The purpose of research and development is generally to take new products and services to market and add to the company bottom line. So there are the three types of research and development. The first one is the pure research. The pure research is a theoretical approach to any subject. The objective aim to get complete knowledge and understanding of one special subject, not a practical situation. This type of research examines data to find the unknown and fulfill the sense of curiosity. Usually, this involves how, what, and why questions to explain the occurrences. This research is also called the basic or fundamental research. The second one is applied research. The object aims to get complete knowledge and understanding one of the special subject in a practical situation. The research is inverse of basic research. The research is formulated to solve the practical problem. The main goal is create or design new products, goods or services that meet the needs of certain markets in society. And it's find out what the needs of the market are. It focuses on finding the new ways to improve products and already meet an organization needs. And the business benefit from their research because it allows them to detect gaps in their findings and obtain primary information on target market preferences. And it can improve hiring, improve workplace, and identify workplace skill gaps. The third one is development research. The research is a combination of applied and pure research. It is synthetic work drawing on knowledge gained from research and practical experience, which is directed to producing new products or processes to improving existing products or processes. And the fact is 42.7 billion of research and development costs later, Amazon was granted 2,244 new patents in 2020. Their patent included advancement in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud computing. And let's turn to the next issue. That's product research. Product research is the process of gathering and analyzing information about products, its market, competitor, and potential customer. The goal of product research is to identify the opportunity, assess demand, and make its informed decision related to production development, marketing, pricing, and distribution. Product research answers questions such as will the product be successful in the market? What are similar products in the market? What is the best way to develop and sell the products? And the next is research process. The research process consists of a series of systematic procedures that our researcher must go through in order to generate knowledge that will be considered valuable by the project and focus on the relevant topic. To conduct effective research, you must understand the researcher's process, step, and follow them. And if you look at this, you will see the step. The first step is identify the problem. Next is evaluate the literature, create the hypothesis, research design, describe population, data collection, data analysis, and the final step is report writing. And research and development should be closely coordinated with marketing. Customer needs, as identified by marketers, should be vital to improve the new product development. The research and development department might identify possible change to product specifications so that a variety of marketing methods can be tried out and screened. So now we come to the next point, which is purchasing. And purchasing is the organized acquisition of goods and services on behalf of the buying entity. Purchasing activity are need to ensure that needed items are obtained in a timely manner and at the reasonable cost. The importance of purchasing save your money. Purchasing help your organization save money on its overall budget by finding suppliers that offer good value for your money. You can reduce your overall cost and ensure that you are getting the best possible deal for your money. The next important thing that purchasing helps to create competition by buying products or services from multiple suppliers. The organization can drive down price and improve the quality of the final product or services. The competition benefits both buyers and sellers as leads to better deals and higher quality products or services. And purchasing can help to meet customer needs. When you purchase goods or services, you ensure that they meet the specific needs of your customers. They ensure that they're happy with the end product, which in turn leads to repeat business and stronger relationship with your customer. The final importance of purchasing that I have known that purchasing can help to keep up with changing technology change. Technology involved so that how business procure their supplies and services by ensuring that you are up to date on new technology trends. You can stay ahead of curve and protect yourself from potential risk associated with outdated. And the next is position of purchasing within the organization. And the first is the director. This individual is ultimately responsible for purchasing department, its day-to-day operation and how efficiently it operates. And the next is deputy director. The deputy director is the second in control. While companies may have different titles for the position, the deputy director essentially take care from their director, helping operate daily activities of the department. And the senior buyer must know which material are needed and in what quantity they should be purchased. In customer-driven businesses, the senior buyer must be able to predict that what customer will want to buy. The next is assistant buyers have their own responsibility for staying abreast of current inventory trends. Assistant buyer also focus on evaluating suppliers, finding the most reliable supply source and at the greatest cost saving to the company. The support staff are often multi-talent employees in that they are capable of handling any number of tasks at once in order to help the development work as cohesive unit. Next is purchasing mix. That we got the quantity, and the suppliers should be able to meet the company's quantity demands. If not, company may not able to meet customer demands. Quality, the quality of raw materials must be acceptable and consistent. If not, the products won't be to standard and of the company. And about the price, the company will want to purchase reasonably priced raw materials so that they get value for money. If the price of the materials too high, the company cost might be too high and they could be making loss. This means that they may need to find a new cheaper supplier. Delivery, if a delivery is late, it could affect the production of the company, impact the inventory control and production planning. And the last part of it is purchasing and profit is obtains the best value for money, meet quality targets, minimize the inventory holding cost. So turn to the next issue, that would be production. The input to the production system can be classified into 4 categories: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And adding a value is suitable commodity that have been enhanced with the additional qualities that make it worth higher price than raw materials used to make it. It may make more convenient, more attractive, more palatable, or easier to use than its raw ingredient, and including schedule doing job machine, assign label to job, control quality of production, improving methods of works, managing materials and equipment to avoid waste, create output. So you guys can see on the screen. And the next is production management decision. The long term that setting up the production system, short term with running it, controlling the system. And they will have the relationship with the other function. The production design is connect with the research and development. Job design is H&R. Quantity needs is 7 per shade. Capital expenditure is about finance. And next, I want to tell that would be service operation. The nature of services. And according to the Kotler, Armstrong, Sonder, and Wong, a service is an activity of benefit that one party can offer to another, which is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not tie to physical products. So the third nature of service, the intangibility. Services are intangible in nature. It means that services provided to the customer cannot touch, see, or feel. Instead, they can be experiences only. And individuals cannot taste, feel, or touch a services. They cannot determine its quality before consumption. Hence, it gives rise to the purchase. Therefore, it is essential for the service provider to continuously work on their services to provide the desired result to the customer. For example, that a cosmetic surgery where the result of the surgery can be seen by the customer before the surgery. Similarly, airline passengers can have no guarantee for the good flying experience or safe arrival of their baggage before the journey. So, which means that customer makes their decision under such circumstance by looking for signals that assure that service quality like the people, communication, price, equipment, and place associated with that service. And the next that is inseparability. It is a concept which states that services are produced and customers at the same time. It can be insulated or spared from the provider. Providers can be the company, institution, or individual of these services through people, processes, or equipment. Further, both of customer and provider equally affect the service outcome, which means that the services provided to the customers cannot be spared or detected. And I will give you guys an example. When you go to this resort for staying there for 5 days and resource other part of the package, it's offering a spa for 1 day. Now you cannot take 1 day spa to your home and you have to use that at the resort itself. Otherwise, it is not no use once you leave the resort. So the next is variability. The service variability may be defined as the change in the quality of the same service provided by different vendor. The change variable because the nature of the services, the person who provides the same at the time of the year when it provided, and the method of delivery of the service. Service variability is one of the important aspects for the service basis organization, which is make it different from the product and driven one. So like that, I will give you an example like when there is a less number of customer, service more specific and polite. If there is a large number of customer, service providers tend to be busy and might lose some service to the customer. Variability can also mean lack of the consistency. Like if you eat to the restaurant, the food and the services is very good, but the next day it's become bad. The last one is ownership, not result in the transfer of property. In products, the product is produces first and that is so. However, in services, the product is bought first and then produces and consumers. In case the ownership is not transferred. Like you go to the electronic shop and buy a Sony Walkman, the product the product now is belong to you, but you next go to the restaurant and order a dish. Does the food in the restaurant belong to you? No, in this case, the electronic shop too, the product Walkman might belong to you, but the ownership of the service has not been transferred. In an IT company, you might get an offer for the IT software, but do you own the software? Not until it becomes an independent product for the IT company. In short, ownership is transferred in case of products, but not in case of services. Implication of services provision that having difficulty evaluate competing service, placing too much stress on personal information, using price as a factor to assess quality, perceiving a high degree of risk, there is no patent, no display available, difficult in quality control, poor service quality on one occasion lead to the widespread distrust of everything the organization does. Complexity, pricing might be complicated if there are several providers. So that is all I want to say about, and now I'm going to hand over to Hương, who will take through the next part.
I will present about marketing. Marketing is the process of planning and executing conception, pricing, promotions, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create a chain that satisfies individual and organizational objectives. The function is to manage an organization relationship with its customer. The service supports any material through organization functions designed to assist a through team and allow them to focus on making sales. The function sales support can help improve brand reputations and makes it easy for company to increase their customer base. Having a sales support can also help increase customer satisfaction and improve customer service. Marketing communication refers to promote the business image its products at a technical level and using different marketing channels and tools to compile deliver a marketing message to target audience. It combines marketing channel tools and include social media, PR, direct sale, advertising, online presence, and etc. For example, MC Dollar used a mix of TV advertising, radio, sport, digital campaigns, and more to communication the launch of a new story in its Happy Meal process. The next is operational marketing to support the organization with coordinate range of marketing activity include marketing research, plan management, cooperation, communication. Marketing operation help teams take advantage of opportunities that become much more complicated as teams grow. Effective marketing also help teams develop answers to the question like how are you going to make the right marketing material that's aligned with brand. Marketing strategy and cooperation. Corporate strategy. Marketing strategy and corporate strategy are two interconnected but distinct concepts that play an essential role in guiding a company overall direction and success. It concept can explore their relationship between marketing strategy and corporate strategy. Marketing strategy is a subset of corporate strategy. Corporate strategy sets on overtracking direction and scope of company activity. Marketing strategy focuses on how the company will create, deliver, and communication values. The next part is marketing orientation. The first is producing orientation. This orientation focuses on efficient producing and optimization of internal process, giving the cost-effective producing and methods. The second is product orientation. The company believes that as more features to products will literally lead to increased demands. The company may focus on product innovation and enhance. The third is store orientation. The focus shifts to good aggressive store and promotion efforts to persuade customers to buy existing products, regardless of their preference. The emphasize on selling that company has rather than catering customer needs. Lost in marketing orientation. This orientation is academic centric. It's involving analyzing the market, understanding customer needs and preference. The last is marketing mix, and here is a video. Here is a video about 4B and 7Bs. We will watching the video to understand about mix and target market.
Marketing mix. The offer you make to your customer can be altered by varying the mix elements. Marketing mix is a framework to help marketers develop a marketing strategy. A marketing expert named E. Jerome McCarthy created the marketing 4Ps in the 1960s, which contains 4 elements of price, place, product, and promotion. Then, extending into 7Ps with people, process, and physical evidence. Let's take a look one by one of these elements. The price is the amount the consumer must exchange to receive the offering. It is a very important component of a marketing plan as it determines your firm's profit and survival. Adjusting the price of the product has a big impact on the entire marketing strategy, as well as greatly affecting the sales and demand of the product. There are 3 major pricing strategies, and these are market penetration pricing, market skimming pricing, neutral pricing. Here are some of the important questions that you should ask yourself when you are setting the product price. The place includes company activities that make the product available to target consumers. You have to position and distribute the product in a place that is accessible to potential buyers. There are many distribution strategies, including intensive distribution, exclusive distribution, franchising. Here are some of the questions that you should answer in developing your distribution strategy. A product is an item that is built or produced to satisfy the needs of a certain group of people. The product can be intangible or tangible, as it can be in the form of services or goods. You must ensure to have the right type of product that is in demand for your market. Marketers must create the right product mix. It may be wise to expand your current product mix by diversifying and increasing the depth of your product line. In developing the right product, you have to answer the following questions. Promotion includes all of the activities marketers undertake to inform consumers about their products, and to encourage potential customers to buy these products. Whilst there is no absolute agreement on the specific content of a marketing communications mix, there are many promotions elements that are often included, such as sales, advertising, sales promotion, public relations, direct marketing, online communications, and personal selling. And here are some questions you can answer in creating an effective product promotion strategy. People are all human actors who play a part in service delivery and thus influence the buyer's perceptions, namely, the firm's personnel, the customer, and other customers in the service environment. Services tend to be produced and consumed at the same moment, and aspects of the customer experience are altered to meet the individual needs of the person consuming it. Process is the actual procedures, mechanisms, and flow of activities by which the service is delivered. Some see processes as a means to achieve an outcome. For example, to achieve a 30% market share, a company implements a marketing planning process. However, in reality, it is more about the customer interface between the business and consumer, and how they deal with each other in a series of steps in stages. Physical evidence is the environment in which the service is delivered, and where the firm and customer interact, and any tangible components that facilitate performance or communication of the service. Strictly speaking, there are no physical attributes to a service, so a consumer tends to rely on material cues. There are many examples of physical evidence, including some of the following: buildings, equipment, signs and logos, annual accounts and business reports, brochures, your website, and even your business cards.
Do you more understand about marketing mix? Yeah, the next part is accumulate tracing. The administration functions is typically centralized as the head office of richest extent possible. The advantage ensure the consistency, provide enhanced security and controls, allow the head office to have better visibility into ongoing operation, enable economics of scale and disadvantage. Local office may experience delay while awaiting instruction from headquarters. How it rely on the head office can make it challenging to address local issues effectively. A system faults or issue can have a widespread impact across the entire organization. The financial is very important in business, and the first is financial planning and analysis. This involving creating budgets, forecasts, and financial model to guide the organization strategic decisions. The second is accounting and financial reporting. It includes balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement, and ensuring compliance with accounting standard and regulation. The third is treasury management. It's involving managing the company cash flow, optimizing working capital, and make decisions about short-term investment, borrowing, and financial options. The fourth is risk management. Financial professional assess and manage financial risks include market risk, credit risk, and operational risks. The fifth is capital budgeting and investment analysis. Finance team evaluates potential investment and project consider factors such as returns on investment, payback periods, and net present values. As the last is human resources management. Human resource involves oversee variety aspects related to employee within an organization, including organizational structure, staffing, motivation, employee relations, and services. The objects of human resource management develop an effective human component, develop require human resources and motivate them, create and maintain cooperative relationship, and the last is meet organization social and legal responsibility. The importance of human resources management increase productivity. Effective human resources management can lead to improved employee performance, job satisfaction, and overall productivity, resulting in organization growth. Action group planning, human resources support, employee development and training, fostering a culture continuous learning that benefits both individual employee and the organization. Reduce staff turnover through recruitment, training, and motivation. Human resources management help retain valuable employee, reducing the cost and disruption associated with high turnover rate, and encourage initiative. Human resources management can promote supportive environments where employees feel empowered to take initiative, contribute to innovation and organizational success. My present is over here, and the next part will present by Vũ Trí Đức.
And now I will continue the presentation. Let's talk about the first part about definition of culture and key components. Culture is a collective programming of the mind which distinguishes the members of one category of people from another, ways of behaving, understanding. There are some key components in culture. They are ethnic group, An ethnic group refers to a social category of people who share common cultural traits such as language, religion, ancestry, traditions, and often a sense of shared history and identity. Ethnic group can also be defined by factors like common customs, values, and social practice. For example, apart from the King people, there are around 53 officially recognized ethnic minority groups in Vietnam. Some examples are the Hmong and Dao people are known for their unique clothing language and vibrant cultural traditions. The second component is profession and occupation. A profession typically involves a higher level of education, specialized training, and adherence to ethical standards, while an occupation encompasses a wider range of jobs and roles people undertake for employment, regardless of the level of expertise required. Teacher, doctor, engineer, lawyer are some examples of profession and occupation. Finally, about social class. Social class refers to a hierarchical group of individuals or families within a society based on factors such as economic status, occupation, education, and cultural factors. It is a way of categorizing and analyzing the social structure of society, often reflecting differences in access to resources, opportunities, and power. There are often 4 categories in social class. Upper class refers to a group of people who access to exclusive education and cultural experience, live in upscale neighborhoods and own multiple properties. Middle class are professionals with stable income, such as doctor, teacher. They can access to quality education and healthcare, and may have some savings and engage in leisure activities and cultural pursuits. Working class are occupations like factory workers, retail employees, manual laborers. They often earn hourly wages and they have limited access to higher education and cultural opportunities. Finally, about low class or underclass are individuals experiencing poverty and unemployment. They have limited access to quality education, healthcare, and housing. Let's move to the next part about giant elements of culture. Giant elements of culture refer to components that make up the culture of an organization. Edgar Schein, a real organizational psychologist, developed this framework to help understand the various aspects that contribute to the culture within a workplace or any social group. Schein identified 3 primary levels of culture: artifact and behaviors, exposed values, and underlying assumptions. About the first primary level of artifact and behaviors. Artifacts and behaviors in an organization are the visible and tangible elements that people can observe and experience. Here are some examples of artifacts and behaviors within an organization. Dress code. The way employees dress at work can reflect the organization culture. For instance, a company with a formal dress code might prioritize professionalism and a traditional work environment, while a company with a set casual dress code might emphasize a more relaxed and creative atmosphere. About office layout and design. The layout of office spaces, the arrangement of desks, meeting rooms, and common areas can reflect the organization values and priorities. Open floor plans might emphasize collaboration and transparency, while private office might signify hierarchy and individual focus. About communication style, the way employees communicate with each other, whether it's formal or digital, can reveal aspects of the organization culture. An open and transparent communication style might indicate values sharing and feedback. Finally, about the leadership styles, the behavior of leaders within the organization can set the culture. A leader who actively seeks input from team members might encourage a culture of collaboration and shared decision making. By understanding and analyzing these elements, individuals can gain insight into the organization culture and its underlying values and assumptions. The second level is exposed value. These are stated beliefs by philosophies and ideals that an organization or group claims to uphold. Some examples that can be listed are integrity. Many organizations emphasize the value of honesty, transparency, and ethical behavior in all aspects of their operation. The centricity, organizations might highlight their commitment to delivering exceptional customer service and focusing on meeting the needs of their customer. By innovation, expo value related to innovation can signify an organization emphasis on creative problem solving, adaptability, and continuous improvement. Last but not least, about diversity and inclusion. Some organizations openly value diversity in their workplace and promote an inclusive environment where employees are of all backgrounds feel welcome and be respected. These exposed values serve as guiding principles of our organization, shaping decisions, actions, and interactions. The final level is underlying assumption. These are the deeply ingrained beliefs, attitudes, and thought patterns that guide people's behaviors and perception. Underlying assumptions are often taken for granted and may not be explicitly expressed. There are some examples that can be listed about underlying assumptions. They are risk aversion. Employee might assume that taking risk is discouraged and punished, leading to a preference for avoiding innovative or inconvenient approaches. About hierarchy and authority, an assumption of strict hierarchy could lead employees to believe that decisions must always be made by higher-ranking individuals, limiting empowerment and shared decision-making. Finally, about competition and collaboration. If the underlying assumption is that competition is more valued than collaboration, employees might prioritize individual success over working together to achieve common goals. Finally, about customer first mindset, it's an assumption that customers are always right and must be prioritized. Could lead to a culture where satisfying customer demands take precedence and over other considerations. These underlying assumptions often shape the behaviors, decisions, and interaction within an organization, Identifying and addressing the assumptions can be crucial for promoting a healthy and adaptive organization culture. In conclusion, as a result of its efficiency, Cheyenne organization cultures model is widely used in organizational development, change management, and understanding interpersonal dynamics within workplaces. It helps leaders and teams recognize the multiple layers of culture and navigate cultural shifts, mergers, and change effectively. And now let's move to the next part about organizational culture. As the previous part, we have understood the organizational culture from Cheyenne perspective. As this part, we will summarize in a general viewpoint and discuss about some examples of organization culture in real life. About the definition, organizational culture refers to the set of shared values, beliefs, attitudes, norms, and practices that shape the behavior and interactions of individuals within an organization. It's like the personality of a company influencing how employees think, feel, and behave, and ultimately impacting the organization's overall performance, effectiveness, and identity. Organizational culture can be seen as the unwritten rules that guide how things are done within the company. There are some types of organizational culture: innovative, customer-centric, result-oriented, fun and informal, control-oriented culture, and more. To give you a better understanding, here are some real-world examples of organizational cultures from well-known business. Google representing for innovative culture. Google is a real for its innovative culture, where employees are encouraged to dedicate a portion of their time to pursuing personal projects and creative ideas. The company's emphasis on experimentation and the famous 20% time policy has led to the development of many groundbreaking products and services. And Amazon representing for customer-centric culture. Amazon is known for its culture, its customer-centric culture, which prioritizes providing exceptional service and convenience. The company's customer obsession is evident in its relentless pursuit of improving the customer experience through innovations like Amazon Prime and one-click ordering. Netflix representing for result-oriented culture. Netflix had a result-oriented culture that emphasizes employee autonomy, responsibility, and focus on outcomes rather than rigid processes. The company values high-performance individuals and encourages them to take ownership of their projects. Pixar, which represent for fun and informal culture. Pixar culture is often described as fun, creative, and informal. The company encourages a playful and collaborative atmosphere to foster creativity, which has contributed to the development of many successful animated films. Finally, about Boeing, representing for control-oriented culture. Boeing culture has historically been control-oriented due to the stringent safety and regulatory requirements in the aerospace industry, precision, adherence to procedures, and attention to detail are paramount to ensure the safety of their products. These examples illustrate how different businesses can have distinct organizational cultures that influence their practices, values, and overall success. It is important to note that organizational culture can evolve and change over time due to leadership shifts, market conditions, and other factors. Next part about culture and structure will be presented by Now.
Culture and structures. Culture and structures. Now, there are 4 types of cultures. It seems like you have provided a summary of Char-Handy categorization of organizational culture based on the god of Greek mythologies. These 4 types of culture are often referred to as the God of Management and were proposed by Char-Handy in his book God of Management, The Changing Work of Organization, 1978. Each type of culture represents a different approach to organizational structures, values, and behaviors. Here is the breakdown of the 4 types you have mentioned. The first one is power culture, Zeus, shaped by the influence of one individual, often the founder or the owner. Quick adaptation to change due to centralized decision making. Authority is concentrated on of a few key individuals, typically found in smaller organizations or those with strong visionary leaders. The second is the role culture, Apollo, characterized by a bureaucratic and rule-oriented approach. Formal structure with well-established rules and procedures. People are expected to adhere to established roles and processes. Focuses on stability, efficiency, and predictability. The third one is task culture, Athena, centers around achieving specific output or result, commonly seen in project-based team or dynamic environments. Performance and success are measured by the accomplishment of task and role. Emphasize flexibility, innovation, and collaboration to achieve the objective. The last one is agentional or person culture. Revolve around the interests and need of individuals within the organization. People are encouraged to express their individualities and pursue personal goals. The organization exists to support and facilitate individual aspirations, often found in professional network or organization where individual expertise is valued. These cultural types provide a framework for understanding the dynamic and value within different organizations. It's important to note that actual organization can exhibit a combination of these cultural types to varying degrees, and culture may evolve over time due to internal and external factors. Organizational Culture by Harrison, 1993. Therefore, Harrison states that though the model is intended to be descriptive rather than evaluative, there is a tendency to perceive it in evaluative terms. This descriptive model creates an awareness of the cultural gap between the existing and preferred culture in an organization. Furthermore, this model maintains that the organizational culture can be diagnosed in 4 cultural dimensions, namely power-oriented culture, role-oriented culture, achievement-oriented culture, and support-oriented culture. The disadvantage and advantage of power dimension. The advantages are unify individual effort behind the vision of the leaders, can move quickly in the market and make rapid internal change, leverage leverage the knowledge, wisdom, and talent of the leaders, however, can be limited by the same, can move quickly in the market and make rapid internal change, can provide direction and certainly reduce conflict and confusion in times of emergencies. Disadvantage: people give the boss wishes the highest priority even when it interferes with important work. People are afraid to give bad news to the boss. People do not question the leader even when they are seen to be wrong. People with power break rule with impunity and take special privilege. Information is a source of personal powers and is restricted to friends and allies. People are promoted by being loyal to those in power, even they are not especially competent. The disadvantage and advantage of role dimension. The advantage are well-designed structures and systems make room for efficient operation and reduce the time for learning job. Clear line for authority and responsibility reduce conflict, tough battle, confusion, and indecision. Clear, fair rules and guidelines protect individuals from exploitation and abusive use of powers. Having a good system, procedure, and organizational memory prevent having to reinvent the world. Structures, routine, and predictability provide security and reduce stress. Disadvantage: people follow the rule even when these rules get in the way of doing the work. It is considered a sin to exceed one authority or deviate to accept the procedure. It is more important to avoid deviating from the norm than it is to do the right thing. Jobs are so tightly defined that there is little room to contribute one's unique talent and abilities. People are treated as an interchangeable part of a machine rather than as the individual human being. It is difficult to get approval for change that people give up on making needed improvement. Disadvantage and advantage of achievement dimension. Advantage is unity of effort toward mutually valued goal, reduced need for control on individual, high internal motivation, maximum utilization of member talent, high self-esteem for organizational members, rapid learning and problem solving and rapid adaptation to change. Disadvantage: people believe so much in what they are doing that the end comes to justify the mean. People become intolerant of personal need and they sacrifice family, social life, and health for work. The group members talk only to themselves and become isolated from others and from reality. The group only cooperate internally, which others sees as arrogant and competitive. Because dissent and criticism are stiff, the group had difficulty correcting its own errors. The commitment to excellence at any cost leads to waste and inefficiency. Disadvantage and advantage of support dimension. Advantage: good internal communication and integration, high level of commitment to decision, sophisticated process skill manage people issued well, high trust between individual and the organization, high level of corporate effective group work, nurturing members for good health, good sensing environment, providing caring, responsive service, good balance for achievement culture. Disadvantage: people may focus on relationship and neglect the work. When consensus cannot be reached, the group may become indecisive and lose direction. Changes may take a long time because of the need to get everyone on board. Disagreement may be avoided, there is surface harmony and convert conflict. Out of kindness, difficult personnel decision may be avoided. People are rewarded in the same way, although they might not have contributed in the same way. This could create frustration. The impact of national cultures. This cultural dimension can have a profound impact on various aspects of society, including business practice, communication style, leadership approach, educational system, and social norms. It is important to note that while these dimensions provide a framework for understanding cultural differences, individual variation, and nuance with each society are also significant. Furthermore, culture may evolve over time, and globalization can lead to the blending of cultural traits. Thank you for listening.
Trước khi đi vào nhận xét, cô xin mời
Do
hai
you
đến
have
ba-
any question? Anyone?
Nào, cô xin mời từ 2 đến 3 câu hỏi của khán giả. Tôn Nguyễn này, Cẩm Tú, ok. Các bạn đã đánh câu hỏi vào trong phần chat box rồi, cô dành khoảng 15 đến 20 phút cho các bạn chuẩn bị câu trả lời nhé.
Bạn Tôn Nguyễn Minh Ngọc hỏi là how can an organization culture influence its ability to attract and retain top talent?
To answer the question of Ngọc, I have answered that an organization culture can be powerful factor in attracting and retaining top talent. A positive, inclusive culture can make the organization more appealing to prospective employee-wise reputation of renewals, employee growth and development can enhance retention rate, reduce turnover, and associate costs.
Câu hỏi của Tôn Nguyễn là bạn nào trả lời nhỉ?
Dạ em ạ.
Ngô Hương là tên một. Ok ạ. Câu trả lời thứ hai bên em có trả lời luôn không hay là
Không
Dạ,
sao, để
bọn em
em cùng hội ý một lúc ạ.
ok
10
nhé.
phút ạ.
Ừ. Nào, đội thuyết trình đã tìm được câu trả lời cho em ơi.
Em xin phép được trả lời câu hỏi. And
Xin
now
mời.
I will give an answer of the question. What role does leadership play in shaping and sustaining organizational culture? Leadership is instrumental in shaping and sustaining organizational culture. Leaders set the tone, establish expectations, and serve as role models for desired behaviors. Their actions, decisions, and communications significantly impact how culture is perceived and adopted throughout the organization. Em xin hết ạ.
Tú còn hỏi gì thêm không em ơi? Em đã thỏa mãn với câu trả lời chứ em có muốn bổ sung gì không ạ?
Em không có ý kiến gì thêm.
Bọn em có một cái quiz nho nhỏ cho các bạn làm.
Ok. Bao nhiêu phút hả em?
Khoảng có 8 câu thì khoảng 10 đến 15 phút thôi ạ.
Vâng, ok, xin mời ạ.